If you knew morning wood, then you know why I feel blue. Without morning, my morning wood. Oh, well, I love you, yes, I love you, morning wood. Morning wood, morning wood. Oh, how my heart yearns for you. Oh, morning, my morning wood. Oh, well, I love you, yes, I love you, morning wood. Morning wood, morning wood. Pretty, 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 pretty morning wood. Oh, morning, my morning wood. Oh, well, I love you and I need you, morning wood. I love you, morning wood, with a love so rare and true. Oh, morning, my morning wood. Well, I love you, I want you, morning wood.
Rise and shine. This is the Morning Woo. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios inside the bunker. Undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, Twitch, and now on Instagram Live on the Let's Go Devils Network. As the Winter Games begin, am I allowed to say the word Olympics? Is it a trademark that I'm banned to say? Do I have to pay the IOC all that money so I can say the word Olympics? Or is it the Winter Games? I don't know. I don't know. But I'm your host, Sam Wu. The break, the pause for the Olympics is here. Last night, or if you want to say yesterday afternoon, the opening ceremonies for the Olympic Games have begun, or was last night. Sorry, the opening ceremony last night in Stadio San Siro in Milan, Italy. Had a lot of Italian fashion, had a lot of history, Italian history mixed in. And, of course, you had the winter sports spectacle. And I thought, I watched part of it. I'm not a big fan of the opening and closing ceremonies. I actually probably watched the closing ceremonies more than the opening ceremonies. I know it's a lot of hoopla, pageantry, all the above. I thought it was cool that they were suspending, I don't know, was that toothpaste in the middle of the air or the paint or whatever that was. But, it's the Olympics are finally here. I tend to like the Winter Olympics more than the summer. That's just my preference. Probably primarily because of ice hockey. And I like the downhill skiing as well, the speed skating, the figure skating. That's always fun as well. If you go back to Lillehammer and back to 1994, for all you old folks out there, if you remember the Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan and that whole drama, why me? Why? It's probably one of the best stories in the history of the Olympics, in my opinion. I mean, I'm going to give myself a better chance to win. So let's just knock the knee out of my opponent and or my competitor, And yeah, she wouldn't have to go. Didn't turn out to be that way. But I see Maria. Happy Devil's Saturday to you. Good morning to Lawrence as well. Talking about the Olympics. And little tidbit. Over 2,800 athletes from 90-plus countries. 90-plus countries competing in 16 sports. And there are 116 medals on the line. Day one, there's full of competition going on. You've got curling, women's hockey preliminary games going on. Also, the weather has been good. Crisp snow conditions for skiing and snowboarding. As you know, Lindsey Vonn, big headliner going into the Olympics, 41 years old, former fiance of PK Subban, the New Jersey Devils, former New Jersey Devil, Montreal Canadiens, and Nashville Predator. She was making headlines, ruptured her ACL during a practice run. She finished her last practice yesterday and held up fine from what we can all see. And she's going to be actually competing. It's going to be one of the big storylines throughout. Lawrence says curling, because it's the only sport I could see my old, out-of-shape self competing in. Me too. I look for those sports that I think that I could possibly do well in. In the Summer Olympics, speed walking might be something I might think about, or some of the shooting, rifle, archery, or something like that. Maria says, remember Katharina Witt when East Germany still existed? Wow. Isn't that something? Also, Bill Spalding. You know Bill Spalding, former Devils play-by-play announcer with MSG Networks. I know all of you miss Bill Spalding. He is doing the Olympics, and I saw a picture with him with former gold medalist Tara Lipinski and the bad boy of figure skating, Johnny Weir. Those two are actually from a television standpoint and commentating standpoint, they do an excellent job. Tara Lipinski and Johnny Weir with all the figure skating, and I mean that's got to be a great gig. That's got to be a great gig. That every 4 years you got a gig like that. I bet you they get paid very well. Ratings are high. They're pleasant. They're still young, relatively young, fresh, and I actually enjoy their commentating. And you hear a lot of familiar faces, familiar voices behind the scenes. Good friend of the podcast, Bill Clement. He did the summer games one year, or a few years. He's called Olympic Games, and table tennis. He was in charge of table tennis, and he knew nothing about it. Or water polo. I think Doc Emmerich was doing water polo as well back in the day, back in the 92 games or 96 games, Summer Olympics. So, again, it's always fun. The NHL is at a pause right now. Can't wait for the hockey to come on, because that Four Nations tournament, that there's going to be old rivalries and bad blood from the last Four Nations tournament. Now they're in the Olympics. And I'm specifically talking about Team USA and Team Canada. I can't wait to finally get to focus on the women's ice hockey as well. Team USA and Team Canada. We'll get to that in a little bit. But again, it's that time where we're all going to be couch potatoes watching TV, watching the Olympics. And it's still kind of strange because, you got the live version, but oftentimes it's on tape delay. which is very archaic. If you remember the Miracle on Ice in 1980, that was played live. It was, what should I say, fake live on tape delay for the entire United States to watch. One of the most highly rated Olympic games to be ever played on television. And, back in the day, they used to have to keep things quiet. Who won? Because there was no internet back then. Maybe somebody in Lake Placid back in 1980 would send you a telegram. We won. Well, what does that mean? It would have cost me too much money if I wrote you a paragraph in that Western Union telegram. Now there's an app called Telegram right now. So, Matty Ice says, can't wait to watch the USA women's hockey this morning. Way more intense, entertaining than watching the Devils. I'm telling you, I love women's hockey. The PWHL, that was great when they were playing at the Capital One Arena in D.C. I believe it was Montreal and the New York Sirens, and some fights broke out. That was awesome. I'm hooked. And, again, like the WNBA as well. I can't believe that it took Sophie Cunningham to stick up for her teammate, Caitlin Clark, after she got poked, knocked down, Indiana fever. But it took Sophie Cunningham to slam some basketball, one of the players that was messing around with Caitlin Clark. And then I got hooked on the WNBA and some of that drama. And I think as sports fans, we love drama. And the Olympics, they bring a lot of stories. There's going to be a lot of feel-good stories, especially men's figure skating. If you remember, I don't have the name on the top of my head. I'm sorry. Apologize. Should have done my homework before this podcast. But, about 13 months ago, there was a plane crash in D.C. Very tragic plane crash. And the mom and dad passed away. And one of the men's figure skaters representing the United States of America will be skating in these Olympic Games. So, again, look out for that storyline as well. First goals of the day, Switzerland. Franho von Allman takes the men's downhill alpine skiing. And also Italy's Giovanni Franzoni took silver. The home crowd. They love the home crowd, and Dominic Paris took bronze. The home crowd, they're always rooting for their countrymen or countrywomen. So that's always fun to watch as well. Hello, Tom says the Miracle doc on Netflix is amazing. Oh, yeah, the footage, the documentary, it's worth the $7.99 a month that I paid to open up a Netflix account. Yeah, it was awesome. That was a great documentary. Excellent documentary. Apparently that film sat in a Texas warehouse for 45 years till it was discovered. And it had all the behind-the-scenes footage that never seen before. So you combine that with ESPN's 30 for 30, if you haven't watched it, where they had, again, Miracle on Ice, but from the Soviet point of view, had Slava Fetisov in there, Kasatonov, amongst others, getting their point of view and how the Russians and the Soviets put their ice hockey program together. It's very fascinating, and Lou Lamoriello having to try to sign Slava Fetisov and having to deal with the KGB and bugged rooms and all that stuff back in the late 80s. Highly recommend you watch that documentary as well. Lawrence says, hate to say it, but Canada looks like a lock. We'll go over that in a second. Dak X Hansen says, watch U.S. versus Russia on a small Sony portable TV in the attic. I was supposed to be grounded and in my room. Yeah, I was only 2 years old. My mother did say that I did watch that game as a 2-year-old. Don't even remember, but again, that story is legendary, and I'll tell you what, the memorabilia for that Miracle on Ice team. There's a lot of it out there, but I'll tell you which ones are valuable as you're going to approach the 50th anniversary. Are the pictures that have everybody's autograph on it, including Herb Brooks. As soon as Herb Brooks unfortunately passed away in a car accident, I've been always monitoring it, and I've been monitoring the memorabilia prices since the late 90s, and I had a chance to buy one of those gigantic pictures with everybody's autograph, certificate of authenticity, and they had the pictures of the players signing that, and I had a chance, but I didn't have the money at the time, and it also had Herb Brooks' signature on there. That thing has got to be going for $50,000 now, but back in the day, I think it was going for like $3,000. I think it was like in 2000 or 2001. Did I see it on eBay or did I see it on Stein? I forgot where. But that memorabilia, when it hits its 50th anniversary, whoo, that's going to go sky high. Another, if you're, a collector, 50th anniversary when Back to the Future hits 50 years. Apparently, that memorabilia will be going pretty high, especially that sports almanac that only goes to a certain point. A long time ago. But Arheen says, wish the Russians were allowed to compete as a team. Yeah, I agree with that. Again, that's a very touchy subject to a lot of people. From a competition standpoint, I would love to see them compete against the world's best. At the same time, again, it's just that's the political climate right now. Again, I don't want to spend time on this podcast explaining what's going on. I think we all know what's going on in Ukraine right now, and and hopefully that will come to a resolution sooner rather than later, as a lot of people are dying every day, which is not good. Anyway, so also Sweden's Frida Karlsson wins the women's cross-country ski athlon. It's always great. Like, I was watching cross-country skiing in the middle of the night for like a split second, and I'm like, wow. I don't think I could do a half a mile at this point. But skiing's not my thing at all. I skied a few times. Just not my thing. Not my cup of tea at all. Plus, women's speed skating, 3,000 meters. Women's ski jump, normal hill, and men's snowboarding, big air, all today. So, right now, as of now, the tally, Switzerland and Sweden lead with 1 gold each. Italy has a silver and bronze, but we are early into the games. Let's see here. So let's also curling, mixed doubles, round robin continues. USA versus Norway at 4:05 a.m. Eastern. Team USA unbeaten, 4-0 behind Great Britain at 5-0. Defending champs Italy at 3-1. Didn't know that about curling. Alpine skiing. Let's see here. Figure skating. Team event kicks off with men's short program at 1:45 p.m. Watch USA's Leah Malinin's debut. Let's see here. Speed skating. Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about Lindsey Vonn as well. Let's see here. The women's tournament, 10 teams in 2 groups. A strong has the stronger seeds like USA and Canada. B, Has Sweden and Italy in it. I guess the arena is ready. I would assume. I mean, they've already started playing games at that ice rink. Dag X Hansen says, let's go Norway. And Art Heaton says, yes, unfortunately, the Olympics is not immune to displays of political rhetoric. Oh, yeah. I mean, we saw that in the Four Nations when the Canadian fans were booing the national anthem. When I was at the Four Nations, I didn't hear much booing. I mean, there were booings of the Canadian national anthem, if I remember correctly. But when I looked around, it all came from the drunks in the crowd. Not saying that it makes it right, but, they were freaking plastered. You could tell. Let's see here. Dag X Hansen says Stoke Norway got bumped up to IIFH World Juniors. Let's see here. But, maybe we'll review men's and women's ice hockey tomorrow here on the Morning Woo. Also, I don't know if you've seen on Daily Faceoff, Mike Rupp making some news. Former Devil, Stanley Cup champion with the New Jersey Devils, also scored the game-winning goal in Game 7, 2003 Stanley Cup Finals. Had an opinion on the whole Jack Hughes situation. Go to dailyfaceoff.com. He was on his own podcast with Arthur Stapleton, Arthur Staple, and I forgot who the other guy was, but saying about Jack Hughes not playing, yet Brad Marchand with a similar situation, he played. So that was interesting. I suggest you go watch that. You can find it on X at the Daily Faceoff X account. Yeah, so that's all I really got for now. As the Devils are paused for the moment. Spring training, I think pitchers and catchers are doing their thing right now. I've been seeing some videos of Yona Tong pitching for the New York Mets in spring training. So that's underway very soon. Dag X Hansen said Rupper was on point 100%. It's funny that you say that. It's funny you say that because, I've been saying kind of the same thing as well, not as eloquently as Mike Rupp, about him, about the leadership. And I get people freaking hounding me on that when Mike Rupp is saying the same thing, and then I'm on X, and those are the same people that are like, yeah, I totally agree with you, Mike. I found that very interesting this morning when I was reading some of the comments. It's like I have these people that are commenting, against me when I talked about Jack Hughes and, he should be, playing in that game or, having an obligation to your team and all that kind of stuff. And people, no, Woo, you're wrong. He wants to play with his brother. Da 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 da. Yeah. And then, but when Mike Rupp says practically the same thing, probably more eloquently. Oh yeah, I totally agree with you, Mike. Yeah. Well, Mike Rupp is a somebody. Sam Woo is a nobody. Anyway. All right. Well. Thank you. I'm going to drop the podcast in about 10 minutes. Dag X Hansen said the Tri-State Pod is a good listen. Yeah, definitely. Definitely is a good listen as well. But, all right, going to get out of here. Very cold day this morning. The wind drifts is literally where I'm at, is blowing the snow back onto the roads. It's pretty slippery out there. Route 80 and 78. Having some problems. So drive safe out there. The Woo is a woo body. Thank you, Dag X Hansen. And that's all I got. So I'm going to play the music. to the Olympics. Go USA, that's what I say. And for our Canadian friends, same to you as well. Go Canada, go. But when it comes to hockey, don't even think about it. USA, USA, USA. I drink to that with you for the ceremonial sip. Till next time, this is the Morning Woo. Let's go Devils.
Oh, morning, my morning.